Welcome to another beginner's guide for Advent of Code 2022. In this video, we are looking at an approach to day 6 tuning trouble. That's day 6. This puzzle should be approachable by anyone who has learned the basics of coding. To complete the strategy I'm going to show you in this video, you will need to have a handle on strings, creating substrings, examining characters in the strings, and looping over a string. That's essentially it for this one. I've posted a link to the puzzle in the description below, and of course, if you get stuck, don't hesitate to post your questions in the comments, or even make a post on the Advent of Code subreddit. There are lots of people there that want to help you out. And of course, if you find this guide helpful, let me know by clicking the like button. And if you want to see more video guides of the Advent of Code, go ahead and subscribe. All right, let's get to it.
After 5 days of what the elves are calling preparation, you and the elves leave camp on foot and begin to make your way toward the Starfruit Grove. As you move through the dense undergrowth, one of the elves gives you a handheld device. He explains that this device has many fancy features, but the most important one to set up right now is the communication system. Because you have been so helpful thus far, the elves have decided to give you a malfunctioning device. Surely you will have no problem fixing it. Can you write a subroutine to fix the malfunctioning device?
Captain Coder here with day 6 of the Advent of Code. That's day 6. As you heard, we have a malfunctioning communication device that we have to fix in order to communicate with our elf friends while we are traversing through the jungle. In my opinion, the hardest part of today's puzzle is actually trying to decipher exactly what the question is asking, what we need to produce given an input, what is the output that we want. If we read here, we find that we are trying to identify a start of packet marker inside of some string input. A start of packet marker here is actually defined as the first sequence of 4 characters inside of our input that are unique, that is distinct. So if we look at this example input, you can imagine sort of a window that goes over the first 4 characters and then slides across and looks for a match where we get 4 unique characters. In this case, the first time we see that is when we get to JPQM. This is the first distinct set of 4 characters in this signal, and they want us to then identify the number of characters we actually have to examine to get the sequence. In this case, it happens to be the position of the last character in that start of packet marker. Hopefully we understand the problem now, and so we can talk about a strategy to actually solve it. And honestly, this problem is pretty simple, but we can really break it down into 2 simplified pieces. The first one, we're going to write a function called window that's going to allow us to examine just a portion of our input string. And then we're also going to write a function called IsDistinct, which given a string is going to tell us if it contains no duplicate letters. With these 2 functions, it becomes relatively simple to solve this puzzle. We simply iterate over the length of our input, pulling out the windows as we go, and checking for distinctness. Once we find a string that is distinct, we stop and we report the index of that last character. Okay, so here is the stub for my window method. It is going to accept a string that we're going to examine, as well as the start position of our window. So this is the left side of the window. And the idea is that this is going to return to us a string that is a window of length 4. In this case, I've set up a test above, so that way when I'm done with it, I'll have some confidence that it's working. I've created a very simple input string so that it will be easy for me to eyeball. It has A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all the way to element O. And so with start 0, After I run this, if it is successful, I should expect that to be A, B, C, D. When I have a start of 1, it should be B, C, D, E. When I have 2, it should start at C, C, D, E, F. And with 3, I'm expecting it to be D, E, F, G. So why don't you try writing this window method in your language and give yourself a little test to give you some confidence that it's working when you're done. Hopefully you have a working window method which is successfully extracting the window within your input string. My test here is reporting what I expect. Window of 0 is A, B, C, D. Window of 1 is B, C, D, E. 2, C, D, E, F. And 3, D, E, F, G. If you're still working on this, trying to find the solution, go ahead and pause, see if you can get it. And then I'm going to show you my solution. In C#, this is super straightforward. We take our toExamine string and simply call substring. The substring method in C# accepts the start index and the length of the string. In your language, you may have to actually calculate the index. So I know in Java, substring takes the start and end index. Next, we need to write the IsDistinct function. This method here is going to take in a string that we're going to check, and it's going to tell us whether or not this string contains only unique characters. I've written a test here to give me confidence that it's working at the end of the day, and I have passed in some examples that I know will not be distinct and then one that will. So AABC should be false because there's 2 A's, ABBC is false because there's 2 B's, ABBCC is false because there's 2 B's and 2 C's, and ABCD should be true. It's currently reporting false because I haven't implemented it, but this one should be true because there are only distinct characters. Go ahead and give this a shot. Write yourself a test to give yourself confidence that it'll work when you are completed. Ideally, you now have an IsDistinct function or method that is passing the test you wrote and giving you confidence that it will be able to detect distinctness on your bigger problem. So let's take a look here at my solution. And I'm very, very lucky here in C#. We can actually take a string and call a method called distinct, which actually essentially turns our string into a set of characters and ensures, because it is a set, it ensures that there are no duplicates. Then I just check to say, hey, does this distinct set have the same amount of items as the original length of our string? And now with these two methods, it's very straightforward to solve this puzzle. You're going to iterate over the length of your input string, simply checking each of the windows as it moves across for distinctness. And as soon as you find a distinct window, you report that location in the string and exit your program. Give it a shot. At this point, your program is hopefully displaying the outputs for a given input. I've created a sample text file and placed these different inputs into it, testing it out, and I am getting outputs that are the same as the example problem here. I'm about to show my solution, so if you want to go ahead and pause, finish your solution, making sure it is working, go ahead and do that now. And here is my solution. Really straightforward. I simply clear the screen here to get rid of all my test output. I read my file into a string. I iterate over the length of the string. For safety, I subtract the size of my window so I don't go off the edge of it. Then I get my window, starting at that index. I check to see if that window is distinct. If it is, I display that I found the window, and then I break out of my loop, exiting my program and getting my solution. At this point, all I have left to do is download my puzzle input, run it through my program, cross my fingers that I haven't made a mistake, and get my solution, submitting it to get my beautiful gold star. Hopefully at this point you've submitted your solution and received a beautiful gold star. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, let me know. Click that like button. If you want to see more admin of code guides, click subscribe so you'll be notified when they're uploaded. And as always, have a beautiful day. Keep on coding, keep on growing, and you're welcome back anytime.